Despite Shai Gilgeous-Alexander repeatedly stating that he was thrilled to be the centerpiece of the OKC Thunder's rebuild, and despite the franchise locking him up with a 5-year max deal 2 off-seasons ago, a lot of media circuits have been consistently pushing the narrative that it was only a matter of time before Shai requested a trade out of OKC, apparently because he would grow impatient with the team's expected long road back to playoff contention. Then last summer, after it was announced that rookie Chet Holmgren would be out for the entire 2022 to 2023 season, the general consensus was that OKC was going to have another down year just like the past 2 seasons. Media outlet 538 gave the Thunder a mere 18% chance to make the 2023 playoffs, while ESPN predicted OKC to only win 26 games and finish with the second worst record in the Western Conference. But fast forward 3 months later, with half of the season gone, those previous narratives and predictions seem to be trending the wrong way, as it looks like the Thunder have actually transcended that plane between potential and being an actual good team. And I'm not only saying this because I'm a Thunder fan. As of the recording of this video, OKC has already surpassed the 20-win threshold with a 23-24 record after only winning 22 and 24 games during the past 2 seasons. But it's not just the win-loss column that's been looking good for the team, as the underlying numbers are also really supportive of the Thunder's recent progression. Since January 1st, OKC has the 3rd best offensive rating, the 4th best defensive rating, and the 2nd best net rating in the entire NBA. Also, this OKC team, which has been a bottom 2 3-point shooting team over the past 2 years, currently ranks 2nd in outside shooting league-wide since the turn of the calendar year. Plus, the good thing about OKC's recent surge is that it doesn't really look like a fluke either, as over the past couple of weeks or so, they've also defeated 3 of the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference by an average margin of 20.7 points. So what's good, everyone? It's Real Balls here, and today, we'll look into how the next OKC Thunder playoff team is currently taking shape right before our eyes. But one sec, if you guys do enjoy this video, please do me a favor by hitting that like button. It only takes a second of your time, but it will be much appreciated. So let's get to it. It's common knowledge that for any team to have a dynamic half-court offense, they need to have at least a couple of experienced veteran players, and they have to at least be able to manufacture easy offense with the help of ball screens. However, OKC has neither of those two. This current OKC team is the 2nd youngest in NBA history, and this season, they're also running the 2nd fewest plays coming off ball screens in the entire league, which in theory should make it harder for them to generate easy offense coming off pick and rolls or pick and pops. And as a result, the type of offense that OKC deploys is very simple and ordinary by NBA standards. It's basically built on a heavy driving attack, which is supported by some crisp ball movement and some steady shooting. But the question is, how are they able to outscore opponents that they aren't expected to beat in the first place with such a basic offensive structure? Well, first of all, the Thunder leads the entire NBA in drives per game this season, and it's easy to understand why. They have the NBA's most dynamic driver in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's been a total driving machine, using his 6'6" frame to slither and slide through defenses while getting into the paint. This season, Shai leads the NBA for the 3rd straight year with 23.9 drives per game while shooting 50.8% on shots coming off those drives, which is also the 4th best mark among all guards this season. Shai's also been able to combine his solid jumper with his ability to get to the rim, as he's attempting more than 10 free throws per game while shooting 90.7% on those free throws, which is the 5th best mark in the entire NBA this season. When he's dribbling into the paint, Shai's definitely forcing defenses to collapse, but the good thing is, OKC's not solely relying on him, as 6'8" sophomore guard Josh Giddey also ranks 34th in drives per game this season, while displaying much improved physicality in terms of finishing in the interior. Then there's also 6'6" rookie guard Jalen Williams, who's also been a downhill revelation with his ability to get buckets in the paint, using finesse while finishing with efficiency even against tight defenses, as Jdub is leading all rookie guards with a 50.8 field goal percentage this season. And to put all those into context, since the start of 2023, there have been 17 guards to average at least 5 shot attempts per game within 5 feet of the basket, and among all those guards, Jdub ranks 3rd while Josh Giddey ranks 6th in terms of shooting percentage. So basically, when you're a team like OKC who not only has the best driver in the NBA in SGA, but also a couple more efficient and high volume downhill threats like Giddey and Jdub, one of these instances would most likely happen happen on offense. If the defense doesn't send help in your drives, that's gonna be either an easy bucket or a couple of free throws. But on the other hand, if the defense sinks in to protect the paint, it also creates an opportunity to dish out a kick-out pass to your open shooters in the perimeter. And as we know, the universally accepted 3 most efficient shots in basketball are shots at the rim, free throws, and catch-and-shoot threes. The impact of OKC's driving-heavy style is also reflected in the team shot diet, as this season, OKC ranks 4th in the NBA in field goal attempts at the rim, while also ranking 7th in catch-and-shoot 3-point attempts per game. I think this easily explains why the Thunder are able to manufacture a lot of high-value shots even with a really basic offensive structure. And to be honest, I think the only reason OKC weren't a top 5 offense during the early part of the season was because of their subpar 3-point shooting, as during the first 2.5 months of the season, OKC only ranked 19th in 3-point shot percentage, but again, since January 1st, the Thunder ranked 2nd league-wide. As of late, OKC shooters have just really stepped up in terms of making defenses pay for clogging SGA's driving lanes. After struggling during the first month and a half of the season, Josh Giddey has been shooting a solid 38.2% from deep since December 1st. Luguentz Dort has also been shooting 45% from 3 since the start of the new year, and the league's 6th best 3-point shooter, Aleksej Pokusevski, has been constantly getting more playing time since the start of 2023 as well. Put all of those together for OKC and you're getting a combination of relentless driving, quick passing, and high-efficiency shot making. And when you watch them deploy their offensive attack, you would just notice how this young Thunder team has been wearing defenses down, because even after the initial drive, they're not hesitant to make the kick-out pass, and right after, there's always a possibility of them making another extra pass as well. Just like in this play, it starts with the Josh Giddey handoff to Lu Dort from the high post. Then you see Dort driving into the paint, but with an extra defender underneath, he makes the kick out to Shai. But Shai makes another quick extra pass to J. Will on the corner. J. Will puts the ball on the floor and attacks as he finishes the nice one-handed reverse shot. Then here, you see Shai trying to attack the lane while forcing 3 defenders to collapse on him. He kicks the ball out to Jdub, and now it's Jdub's turn to drive. Watch how he breaks the tight zone by setting up a moving Aleksej Pokusevski on the corner, who hits the contested 3-pointer. Also, I think a huge reason why this kind of offensive attack works for OKC is their pinpoint passing. Well, this team for sure has a very talented playmaker in Josh Giddey, who can read the floor and make highlight-worthy passes at an elite level. But overall, it has been a collective effort, and it all starts with the team's emphasis on sharing the basketball, as since the start of 2023, 19% of OKC's points have been assisted, ranking 6th most in the entire NBA. But for sure, passing is one thing, but having players who are also purposely moving around the court in order to receive those passes is another. Good thing for OKC is they also have a roster full of players who can constantly find the holes in the defense, particularly by cutting into the passing lanes. This season, OKC also generates 10.7 points per game out of cuts, which ranks 10th most in the entire NBA. Right here, you see Jdub trying to create something from the top of the key. He finds Kenrich Williams on the elbow, but simultaneously on the weak side, Lu Dort starts cutting to the baseline. Kenny Hustle finds him and sets him up for the easy dunk. Then here, J. Will starts to play on the high post. You can see him surveying the floor, and just when it seems like he's gonna hand it off to Aleksej Pokusevski, he sees Jdub cutting to the paint, so he dishes out the quick high-low pass instead. The way it's been going, positionless basketball seems to be working for OKC. They're stacked with some versatile and similarly sized guards and wings who can all put the ball on the floor, create their own shot, and make plays for teammates. This is why, even with their usual starting centers, Aleksej Pokusevski and JRE currently out of the lineup, they haven't really had a problem coping with the lack of size in the interior. Because if you come to think of it, OKC hasn't really been using Poku and JRE as traditional post-up bigs or lob threats in the first place. The Thunder system instead has been using their centers more as offensive connectors who makes passes from the high post and who stretches the floor. Well, as expected, they've been running 6'11" Mike Muscala and 6'9" J. Will as their 5-man in varying stretches. But what's really fascinating is that it's when they're playing 6'7" Kenrich Williams at center that the team has been getting the most balance on both ends of the floor. Looking at it, in the 136 possessions that Kenrich has played alongside their 4-guard starting lineup of Shai, Giddey, Jdub, and Dort, OKC has outscored opponents by 10.3 points per 100 possessions, ranking in the 70th percentile of the entire NBA, while also forcing opponents to an 18.4 turnover rate, which ranks in the 91st percentile of the entire league. Williams is indeed called Kenny Hustle for a reason. He's just been doing a lot of the dirty work and has been making the right reads happens when he's on the court for OKC on both ends of the floor. Here, you see Giddey attacking the lane as he goes for the mid-range shot. He misses, but Kenrich boxes out and gets the offensive board. He doesn't rush and takes his time to survey the floor as he finds the cutting Jdub, who gives the ball back to him as he drains the one-dribble pull-up jumper. Then here with OKC on defense, you see Royce O'Neal attacking Josh Giddey's closeout. He kicks the ball out to Kyrie, who intends to make the extra pass to Harris, but you can see how Kenrich closes the gap and gets the steal as he starts the fast break before eventually finding Giddey on the open floor, who finishes the easy running floater. Overall, those kinds of hustle plays illustrate how OKC has had the 9th best defense this season and the 4th best defense in 2023 alone. OKC's roster is just full of lengthy players who also put a lot of effort on the defensive end. Most of the time, even before opponents get to the paint, OKC's defenders already are able to stifle them with a lot of pressure and the necessary defensive awareness needed to force turnovers. This is why OKC currently ranks 5th in steals per game, number 1 in turnovers forced per game, and even without a rim protector like Poku lately, they still rank 7th in blocks per game in the entire NBA. But amidst OKC's great play as of late, the good thing is, expecting them to continue their rise in the team standings is actually very realistic, as the team currently has the league's easiest remaining schedule, with their remaining opponents only posting a 47.3 win percentage on average. Well, sure, obviously, for a young team, the Thunder are still expected to go through a lot of ups and downs while learning on the fly for the remainder of the season, but still, OKC is definitely trending in the right direction, which is why there's a very huge possibility that even with Chet Holmgren not even stepping on the court for OKC, we might already be able to see this young Thunder team arrive in the playoffs this 2023 season. So thank you guys if you made it this far into the video, but let me ask you, what are your predictions for the OKC Thunder this 2023 season? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Real Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.